Good morning, and today I'm going to show the difference between Seedream and Nano Banana. I assume most of you are familiar with Nano Banana if you're watching this, so I'm going to start by doing Seedream. I'm in the Story Machine application, storymachine.ai, and you can try it out for yourself, and I'll also make this public afterwards, and you'll be able to take a look at the project itself, and all the outputs and everything that I put into getting it. I'm going to go back to my character page that I'm doing right now, Seedream versus Nano Banana, and I have a number of characters here for references. Going over to shots, you can see me using Seedream to make a compositional shot. One of the things that I've noticed about the Seedream API, as well as the Nano Banana API, is providing a name reference for the image here isn't really doable unless it's the file name that they're using. But I'm using a just uh, hex-based storage string for my file names, so I'm not up for changing that quite yet. I might update it eventually to use these actual tags as the file names, but that's not what I'm doing right now. So what you can see is this was supposed to be over the shoulder of Mark, which is this guy, but it's actually over the shoulder of Tony. The only one in the right position is Doug on the right, but my assumption is that was just random chance. I'm going to regenerate this image just to see if it's random chance. And then I'm going to go back to my characters. And both Seedream and Nano Banana are good at understanding text and images. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quick draw, putting some text here, and this is Mark. All right, that's smaller than I was expecting, but hey, it's fine. Save. Mark. It now has that tag on the image. Let's see if we can do an edit with Seedream. Add a in the top left corner that says Doug. Get that one going, and then for this one, we'll also just do a draw. And this is Tony. Boom, Tony. All right, once the Doug name tag comes in, we'll go for it. Seedream does take longer. There we go, Doug. That's nice. Yeah, Seedream does take longer. So yeah, again, not the positioning that we were asking for whatsoever. We need to say background. All right, so we're going to copy this actually and go to a new one. The references won't be changed until you manually change them. So if you have references, it will stay with the previous version. So we're going to just paste that there, add characters from text. There we go. And we see we got the Doug name tag here, whereas in this reference, it does not use the Doug name tag. So you do have to update those manually. I might have it start updating it automatically for each reference generation. We'll just have to see. So yeah, layout. It's over Mark's shoulder, but Tony is on the right and Doug is now on the left. All right. One thing that we can also do is with this draw option, we can say we can just write on the image the edits that we want. So I'm writing giant beard, and then shave head, whoop, head, What do we want to do with this back of the head? Let's make it a robot. I don't know. Sure. Save. And then we're going to go to edit and we're going to say, take the white text and drawings on the image and do the edits in place. Remove white text and drawings from the edited image. Boom. So that'll take 30 seconds about, and we'll see how it comes out. Okay, so we have over the shoulder of Mark, Tony on the left, Doug on the right. Let's make sure that's not a fluke. Also, they are in a cafe. Very nice. So we're not making sure that's not a fluke. We're going to go again. One of the other things to look at for all these reference-based image generations is how well it does with two very similar references. So Mark and Doug here are two white guys. We're going to have them close to each other, and we want to see how much they get from each other. So we have Mark and Doug shaking hands. And we're going to take a very close look at these references, comparing it to the base image and seeing how much cross-pollination it gets from the models. We see, this is a good example of that. We got a little bit of cross-pollination here with this Tony. He's not doing the long hair down the sides anymore. He's kind of doing more of the hair from Doug. Doug is supposed to be clean shaven, so it's getting a little bit of that scruffiness from the Mark character. And so those differences that we get can be a little annoying. So one thing that I want to give a try is I'm going to come in here and say, let's say this is exactly the blocking that we really wanted. It was so close, but just because of these little differences, we can't really use it because he's not quite Doug and he's not quite Tony. I'm going to just write it in his face. This is Doug. Oh, no, not line. Text. Doug. Oops. Undo. Draw. Text. Doug. Tony. All right. We're going to save that. Close here. And then we're going to come back into here. We don't need a mark reference. We already got that. But we're going to add the shot base as a reference. So we're going to say in the image, update the Doug and Tony references to be more closer to their reference images. Make it more clear. The white text. Yeah, you always got to say remove the white text. Remove the white text. Name tags from Mark and Doug's faces. Right. This is Tony and Doug, not Tony and Mark. Doug and Tony. Doug and Tony. Okay, good. And we're gonna regenerate to see how that goes. Okay, this is zoomed in a lot. Not sure what's going on there. We're going to go back to this one. And we're going to try that again. All right, trying again on that edit. So here we have, annoyingly, Doug and Mark, where they have their name tags popping in. Um, but it is decently accurately giving us these characters. We see Doug's eyes are a little bit bluish, and or no, Mark's eyes are a little bit bluish, and Doug's face, again, it's scruffy, whereas in our reference, it's not really scruffy. So that yeah, we're getting a kind of a mixture of the two instead of really clean depictions. All right, we got this. That is not what I was asking for. Okay, okay. All right. This is also entirely possible that my edit commands are not going through properly. Let's just test that. Move the background. That is a very simple thing. It should know how to do that. We got to zoom in again. All right, so it may not be, Seedream may not be as good at the edit step, but I generally feel that it is better at the compositional step. So if you have multiple images, bringing them together, Seedream tends to be better. Okay, yeah, it's understanding the text I'm sending. Remove the background. All right, so now um, we've done some of this. I still want to get this like drawing on the image working because it does work. I just need to show it working better. For that, I'm going to use an image from a previous example. It is with text here. And then we're going to do the same. Do the edits based on the white text in the image. Remove the white text. And we're just going to regenerate. It's the same thing effectively as doing the edit for Seedream or Nano Banana. It works more or less the same way. And then we're pretty much going to do all of this over again with Nano Banana. So let's go to our settings. You can see we have Seedream here. We're going to switch that to Nano Banana in both cases. Save our preferences. Back to the project. What? Oh, right. Duh. We need it as a reference, not as the image. Okay, that's going to go with Nano Banana. So we want to go back real quick. Change that back to Seedream so we can get a Seedream version of it. We'll do just adding the reference, base image, and we're going for with text. Okay. Copy that, paste that there. Okay, it's going. Cool, that should work just fine. Back to settings, and back to Nano Banana. All right, so we got the sunglasses removed. Got the helicopter. It changed the angle some. No cyclist and no. This is Nano Banana, by the way. No cyclist and no sidecar. But we also did that through the reference-based generation and not the edit flow. So let's do the edit flow as well. This is Nano banana reference with text. This is Seedream reference with text. This is Nano Banana edit with text. We need to upload that base image again, and then we're going to use the same text there. Do a quick edit, and we're going to bring Nano Banana a second in all these references. Okay, so we want to compare here on how well Nano Banana does on keeping these references separated again. So let's do the same thing. Mark and Doug shaking hands and generate with Nano Banana. All right, here we got pretty much nothing except the white text was removed. Let's try this. For both of them. Okay. So this one pretty much did it all, but it didn't remove the white text. So we're going to go back in history. Oh, yeah, I'm silly. So we're going to go ahead and, yeah, do this. Edit. Cool. Both of these are Nano Banana. Yeah, both of these are Nano Banana. I need to go back and do it with Seedream. So we'll quickly, settings, Seedream, save, back. Seedream, do it. All right, now that I've clicked that, I can go back to settings, Nano Banana, save, back. Okay, so that'll generate. So here we go. This is the Nano Banana, Doug and Mark shaking hands. Doug is decently shaven. The eyes are better. Like, I don't like the image quality as much. The hands are a little funky. But it is better at separating those references compared to this one where we had like the scruffy Doug. We have the Mark with I think bluish eyes where he should have brown eyes. So it is Seedream is mixing the references more, and Nano Banana is keeping them more separate from the looks of it. Let's go again on that one, see if it does it well again. Okay. We're going to take a look at this one. Let's just move this back in history. Do a select here. And we'll get the exact text here. Cool. Same with this. We'll go back to the part that we actually care about. So it displays the good one. Or I say good-ish. Again, this was the Seedream generation, and the references were mixing some. And Doug has a name tag. Okay, we're going to add another shot. Move this up to here. And this is Nano Banana. This is Seedream with name tags. Nano Banana with name tags. So we have those three. Just add from text. Boom. Got it. Generate. This is Seedream. No name tags. And I mean, we don't expect it to understand who is who without name tags. That's not a reasonable thing to expect of any model. I'm just showing this as a no name tags. It doesn't know who should go where. But with the name tags, Seedream understood who was who and was able to put them in the correct location. So let's see if Nano Banana is able to do the same. All right, here's our number 2. Yeah, again, weird hands. The image generation quality overall, I don't like it as much as Seedream, but the reference is better preserved and less cross-reference mixing. Okay, I like the interpretation that Nano Banana had of the text that I gave it. It is doing the reference preservation and not mixing them better still compared to Seedream. I still like Seedream's image quality, this one compared to this one. I just feel like the quality of the clothes and the faces and how they mix with the backgrounds, especially like the mixing with the backgrounds, is something that Nano Banana's not as good with. They look like they are just popping out a little bit too much. One of the other things that we can take a look at closely is the preservation of the traits. Like he is in a white t-shirt. White t-shirt. Like every Nano Banana generation of this guy is in the white t-shirt. Here, white button down. And it's not the same. All right, the necklace and jewelry is a really good spot to look at for fine detail preservation. So here we have this gold chain that is doing pretty well. He's getting dog tags, which he doesn't have in the reference. Here, the chain is there with no dog tags. Let me confirm that there are no dog tags in that reference. Yeah, no dog tags. Okay, this is the Seedream reference with text. I would say it nailed it. We have our raccoon in a sidecar. She's no longer wearing glasses. We have a random cyclist on the side, and there's a helicopter. Um, Ironically, I would say, uh, the especially for the helicopter and the cyclist, they're not as well integrated into the image. And this is the Seedream generation. Let me double check that. Refresh just to make sure. Yep. Here is the Nano Banana edit, and it nails it really. So we have our cyclist, we have our helicopter. They're well integrated into the image this time. Our raccoon in a sidecar, so cute, and she's not wearing glasses. It worked great. And the way I have Seedream edit set up, it's just feeding it in as a reference. There's no special difference there. Nano Banana actually does have a difference in the way I'm feeding it for the edit versus the reference with text. So take that as you will. I do have a little bit of a difference in how I'm handling that with Nano Banana, not with Seedream. So Seedream reference with text is going to be the same as Seedream edit with text on my system. So I think I am happy with how these experiments went. I'll fill out the descriptions. Yeah, we don't want that here. That happens when you draw. It just adds that extra text. So yeah, I'll add descriptions of what each of these are in that video generation field, and get this published so you can try it out. I'm happy with the defaults that I have. So right now, Nano Banana is the default edit image, and Seedream is the edit default reference image generation. If you really need like two closely aligned generations, so like the two guys, if you need two really close references in the same image, you probably do want to switch to Nano Banana. You might need to do a touch up on it based on what we're seeing with like the generation quality. But Seedream is not going to keep those references as separated. It has a lot more mixing that happens with the references it's provided when they're close. If you have two references that are very far apart, it should, and it has, in my experimentation, it has been very good about integrating those references well together and keeping them separate, as long as they are like a man and a woman, or a white guy and a black guy, a Asian guy and a black guy. Like, if they're different enough, it's not going to mix them. It's when they are close that it mixes them. All right. I hope that was enlightening. I'm going to set my settings back to the way I like it, which is Nano Banana for the edit and Seedream for the generate. Hopefully you found this useful, and let me know your thoughts as well.